Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jehan and today I'm going to show you how to make this delicious but super easy tres leches cake. The name tres leches pretty much means 3 milks, so the cake is soaked in a combination of evaporated milk, condensed milk, and heavy cream, and it is divine. To get started, you're going to need a box of white cake mix or yellow cake mix. And I'm adding 1 box of instant vanilla pudding, and this just doctors up that box cake and takes it up a notch. Next, I'm going to add oil, eggs, and water, and this is the quantity that is recommended on the back of the cake box. So depending on the brand of cake mix that you use, it may call for different quantities of eggs and water, so be sure to follow that, but just add that box of instant vanilla pudding. The first time I had this cake was many years ago at a Spanish restaurant, and it is so good. The cake is pretty much soaked in a combination of condensed milk, evaporated milk, and heavy cream, and the cake just absorbs it all, and it's not soggy at all. Then it's topped with whipped cream. It is so divine. I'm going to show you how to make homemade whipped cream. It is very easy, and you definitely want to make your own. It's way better than the store-bought whipped cream. So I've greased a 13 by 9 pan, and I am pouring the cake batter into the pan. Now this is a super easy recipe, and this is great for entertaining. You just make it the day before because it really is best being made ahead of time. It's always better the next day. So you can make this ahead of time, pop it into the fridge, and the next day just bring it out in the pan and just serve it, and your guests are going to go crazy for this cake. And as always, I will have the recipe linked below in the description box. Now I've spread the cake out into an even layer. I'm going to place it into the oven and bake it for about 35 minutes, just until golden brown, and it's done. While that is baking, I'm going to mix together the 3 milks. To my container, I've added heavy cream, a can of evaporated milk, and I'm also going to add a can of condensed milk. And you guys know, anything that has sweetened condensed milk in it is going to be good. And I just want to say thank you guys for being here, for watching this video. If you made it this far, please head on down and subscribe to my channel. And if you do like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. And now that I've gotten all of that sweetened condensed goodness into this mix, I am going to mix it together. Another thing I'm going to add just a dash of vanilla extract, and I'm going to just mix it all together. And you want to have this ready for when the cake comes out of the oven. Once it comes out of the oven, allow it to cool for just a few minutes. Using a fork, prick the surface of the cake. Now you want to do this all across the cake because we're going to pour all of that milk onto the cake, and pricking the cake is going to help it absorb all of that liquid, and you want it to be evenly absorbed. You don't want a soggy portion and some completely dry. So you want to be sure to do this all across the surface of the cake. Once you've done that, just pour the liquid over the cake. And the cake is going to suck it up pretty quickly. You'll see in a minute. Once that's done, it's still not time to eat. What you're going to do, you have to be patient, is cover this cake and place it into the fridge and let it sit for at least 6 hours, preferably overnight. And as it sits, it's just gonna soak up all of that liquid. And you guys, I'm telling you, this is definitely one of my favorite cakes. Now to top the cake, I am gonna use strawberries. Now I like to have a little bit of the berry flavor because it does cut the richness of all of that heavy cream and sweetened condensed milk and everything, but this is completely optional. And I'm just cutting these into bite-sized pieces. Once I'm finished with that, it's time to get started on the whipped cream. To a bowl, I'm adding cold, heavy whipping cream. And this will be either labeled whipping cream or heavy cream, or in this case, heavy whipping cream. To sweeten the whipped cream, I'm adding powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. And then I'm going to use my hand mixer and just whip this until it thickens and it forms a stiff peak. Now this takes a while. Just be patient and be sure not to overmix. Now the cake has had some time to sit in the fridge, and I'm going to top it with the whipped cream. Now you can serve it right now as is, or you can just simply place this back into the fridge. Be sure to keep it refrigerated because the whipped cream needs to be cold. And I'm just gonna spread this all along the surface. You guys, look at that. I am seriously drooling just looking at this cake. Now, once I've spread the whipped cream all across the top, I am gonna top it with the strawberries. Now, you can also do a pinch of cinnamon. You can leave it without anything on top, no berries if you prefer. I also added blueberries, and that really does give it a nice flavor as well. And that's it, you guys. It's pretty much done. All that's left is to cut into this and dig in. And don't forget that this recipe will be linked below in the description box. It's going to lead you over to my blog, Jehan Can Cook, and you can print the recipe, email it, pin it, save it. If you do make this recipe or any of my recipes, be sure to share it with me over on Instagram at Jehan Can Cook. Now this is the tricky part, getting it out of the pan. So I grabbed my spatula and I just went for it. And if you look at the cake, you can see it still holds its texture, but you can see some of that milk just peeping out, and I cannot tell you enough how good this cake is. Thank you guys for joining me. I really do hope you try this recipe. Give me a thumbs up if you do like this video. Leave a comment below, and I will see you guys next time.